For example, in some neighborhoods of Brooklyn, Brighton Beach, Brooklyn, I remember the old Brighton Beach, right? But now it's a Russian American district, right? So the American Green gets a shot in the arm when new people come in from different parts of the world. I remember this district because my grandfather worked in a factory on Prince Street, all the way at the end of the 7th line. It was a Ray-Ban sunglasses factory. We were the only kids in the neighborhood that had those flip-down baseball glasses for the sun, my brother and I. And I remember that neighborhood now, but you go there now and it's like Chinatown, right? Bigger than Chinatown. The Asian American community is huge there. You know, you go to northern Manhattan, you know, it's Plátano City, right? And you go to places like East Harlem and in the Bronx and Sunset Park, and you see the Mexican community also thriving. And the Middle Eastern community, the Southeast Asian community here in Queens. This is a special part of New York City, the ability for New York City to reinvent itself. And so, for a long time, we had soul music in Albany, and we had salsa, Puerto Rican salsa in Albany. And of course, when I went to Albany, I took the merengue. So now it's time to have la cumbia colombiana in Albany. So I hope that when we go to Somos next time, I see you learning to dance some cumbia or vallenato, right? It's contagious music. But you have in Catalina Cruz a special young lady with a commitment to service, decent, honest, professional, dreamer, right? And someone that came here, as I did, as a young boy, with no papers, no green cards, but now I walk the hall of Congress and she's going to be in the Capitol of the state. So we want to congratulate her and her family, particularly her family, because all of you that are in elected office that are here today know the trials and tribulations that our families go through. And often it's quiet and lonesome, and they don't say it, but they sacrifice a lot, and we want to thank her family for sacrificing to ensure that she takes a new voice to Albany, to the state legislature. And I saw how this past week, the Dream Act was passed. Back in 2002, Ruben Diaz and I were successful in passing out-of-state tuition for undocumented young people. But it needed the funding, the Dream Act, which is the second phase of it. And it took over a decade for that to happen. And it happened this past week in Albany. And I'm happy to see my good friends, Jose Peralta's widow here, Evelyn Peralta, who's with us today. And he was a fighter for the Dream Act, Jose Peralta. And I'm happy that they named the Dream Act the Jose Peralta New York State Dream Act. So I thank you for giving me this opportunity. Aubrey, I crossed the bridge and I paid the toll. Okay? I hope, everything is cool, right? And I got my passport and my green card and I came here. Okay, and so I'm always happy to be back to Queens. I graduated from Queens College, and as I told you, I have deep roots here because of my grandparents. But I know that in Catalina Cruz, you have a great star that's going to represent this district with distinction. God bless you and keep the faith. Thank you.
Very much, Congressman. And now we're going to turn to hear some remarks from family and friends. And first, I'd like to bring up Maureen Ahmed, who is also a dreamer. Let's give her a big round of applause.
I met Catalina while we both worked at the New York City Council. And from the very second I met her, she has been the greatest friend, mentor, and godmother. In fact, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be in law school today. Thank you. elected, I knew you would make us proud, and you've done exactly that. So thank you for being the fearless advocate that you are. Thank you for being unapologetically you, and thank you for never forgetting us and fighting for our communities. I love you. Thank you.
Y ahora nosotros vamos a oír algunas palabras de la madre de Catalina Cruz, la señora Rosa Agudelo.
Bueno, buenas tardes, primero que todo. Gracias por acompañarnos en este gran día en el que me siento muy bendecida, agradecida y extremadamente orgullosa. En primer lugar, quiero darle gracias a Dios, porque nada se lograría sin su voluntad. Y a todos ustedes por creer en mi hija. Y por creer en mi hija, por el apoyo incondicional que me han brindado, con el cual pudo alcanzar su sueño. Este es también el sueño de todos, inclusive el mío. Por favor, permítame darle un poco de nuestra historia, aunque ustedes ya conocen. Catalina era una niña de 9 años que traje conmigo a Queens en busca de un mejor futuro. Estaba pensando más en ella que en mí cuando lo decidí. Fue un momento de mucha violencia e inseguridad en Colombia. Además, como madre soltera, no le hubiese podido proporcionar la educación que se merecía, porque las escuelas privadas eran muy caras, muy costosas, y las escuelas públicas siempre se mantenían en huelga, sobre todo las universidades. Sin embargo, creían que en Estados Unidos era un país donde eso podría ser posible. Nos tocó comenzar una nueva vida, sin saber inglés, sin documentos. No sabía por dónde empezar. Cuando Catalina empezó una clase bilingüe en la escuela, su maestro me recomendó que la pusiera en una clase regular, ya que en solo 3 meses Catalina aprendió suficiente inglés para estar en una clase regular. Y su conocimiento estaba por encima del promedio. Con los ojos cerrados me decidí y acepté. Ella logró terminar sus estudios y se convirtió en una abogada. Catalina, a pesar de ser una niña, era muy madura para su edad. Ella era y sigue siendo mi brazo derecho. Juntas enfrentamos muchas dificultades como inmigrantes indocumentadas. Ella ha sido una segunda madre para mis otros hijos y ellos la consideran su héroe. La consideran como si ella fuera su héroe. Catalina tiene toda una vida de experiencia defendiendo sus propios derechos y los de la comunidad que la ha rodeado y que han vivido injusticias sociales identificándose con ellas. Por eso estoy segura de que Catalina nos ha representado y nos representará como inmigrantes honestos y trabajadores que con nuestros servicios hemos contribuido al crecimiento de este país. Ahora más que nunca, quiero invitarlos a que juntos continuemos apoyando a Catalina en el desarrollo de las necesidades propuestas por el pueblo. Unidos podemos lograr que nuestra voz se escuche en Olvan a través de Catalina para que se realicen cambios positivos en beneficio de la comunidad. Desde el fondo de mi corazón, les agradezco que hayan confiado en mi hija como su representante. Sin ustedes no hubiese hecho historia. De nuevo, yo les agradezco infinitamente.
Now we're going to hear a few words from Laura, Monica, and Hector, Catalina's siblings.
Good afternoon. Thank you for accompanying us in this great day. Today, I feel blessed, thankful, and proud. I want to give thanks to God because nothing would be accomplished without His will. And to you all for believing in my daughter and for the unconditional support you offered. It helped her reach her dream. This is also everyone's dream, including mine. Please allow me to tell you a little about our family. Catalina was a 9-year-old child when I brought her to the Queens in search of a better future. I was thinking more of her than of me. It was a time of lots of violence and insecurity in Colombia. And besides, as a single mother, I would have not been able to provide her with educational opportunities because the private schools were very expensive and public schools were always unstrong. However, I believe that in this country, this would be possible. When she started a bilingual class in school, her teacher recommended that I put her in a regular classroom because after just 3 months, Catalina had learned enough English to be in a monolingual classroom, and her knowledge was above average. With eyes closed, I accepted. She managed to finish her studies and became a lawyer.
Catalina, despite being a child, she was very mature for her age. She was and is still my right arm. Catalina has a lifetime of experience defending her own rights and those of the communities that have surrounded her and have experienced social injustices. That is why I am sure that Catalina has represented us and will continue to do so as the honest and hardworking immigrants that have contributed to this country. Together, we experienced many difficulties as undocumented immigrants. She has been a second mother to my other children and has been a role model to them. They consider her their hero.
Now more than ever, I want to invite you so that together we can continue to support Catalina to fight for our community. Together we can make sure that we have a voice for Catalina in Albany, and that positive change will be made for the benefit of the community. From the bottom of all of our hearts, we want to thank you for what you did for my daughter, speaking from the perspective of my mother. And really, we're all thankful and grateful, and we would never have made history without everyone in this room and everyone throughout these whole borders. So thank you.
Every single day, and we are just so happy to call you our sister.
Okay, thank you very much for those wonderful words. Let me just say we have also been joined by State Senator John Liu, Councilwoman Joanne Simon, y la madre y padre de Julissa Paredes, Josefina y Julio Paredes. And now the moment we've been all waiting for. I'd like to ask the Honorable Jenny Rivera, Associate Judge of the New York State Court of Appeals, to come up onto the stage and to ask Catalina Cruz to join us.
Former intern, CUNY Law School alum. I knew her when she had just started on this wonderful journey that has led her to today. I'm especially happy that she has chosen this particular venue, this hall of ideas, this hall that welcomes all dreamers, this hall that inspires the mind and the spirit, inspires us to think about facts, not speculation, inspires us all to think how we can create a world that's better than the one we inherited, which is, of course, what Catalina has promised all of you. You've already heard, of course, that in her new role, she's going to be very, very busy. And it is a labor of love. People think it's all about parties, and dinners, and hotel rooms, and traveling back and forth. But it's a labor of love. It is a sacrifice. It is a labor of love to her community. It is a labor of love from her family to her and to the community. And it requires not only the wonderful, beautiful family that she has, but it requires her constituents to support her, her friends and family. So before I give her the oath of office, I'm going to ask all of you to make a promise. A promise to her, a promise to your community, a promise to all of us in the state of New York, and a promise to the country. So you would raise your right hands. And do you promise? And you have to say yes. Yes. Well, if it's not a yes, what can I say? She wouldn't have invited you. Do you promise?
Yes.
Well, I haven't asked you. To support Catalina Cruz and her family those days that are going to be long and hard, where she will be in rooms that will be hostile, not friendly like this one here. Well, she will be asked over and over, who does she think she is? And why does she think that she speaks for anyone? Do you promise to be there when it's going to be hard for her? Do you promise to be there when she's going to make decisions that you might not agree with, but her intellect and her conscience tells her it's the right choice? Do you promise to do that for her?
Yes.
Yes. I know that's very meaningful to her. Oh, well, that's class of 2029. Okay. I want to say, as I'm trying to bring up the oath on the high technology, that in many ways, this is really the only country in which a member of the New York State Assembly can call from Colombia on this little thing to the only Puerto Rican woman on the Court of Appeals and ask her to swear her in. And I do it with love, and I do it with pride. And I have to say, although your story and la historia de la mamá, ciertamente it's their personal story. And they're proud of it, and we support them. But in many ways, it rings true for all of us, no? Yes. It does. My mother came from Puerto Rico in the 40s, in her young 20s. Didn't know anybody, didn't expect anything, but wanted a better life, because that was the promise. 2 children who are lawyers, 1 who is a judge. Where else does it happen in one generation? She worked in the garment district as Puerto Rican women did at that time, built that fashion industry in the same way that you worked so hard. Weekends, evenings, it's a story we understand. And we thank you for it. All right, so el momento llegó, as they say.